ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our weather update for Tuesday, September the 27th. We're tracking, well, typical spring weather really for this time of the year. A mix of highs and lows and a mixture of warm northerlies and colder southerlies. Let's take a look at the animated wind map. Quite a lot going on today. A big high pressure zone over the Chathams, windy and nor'easters over northern New Zealand, but calmer in the south. Low pressure in the Tasman, more low pressure over here towards Australia, and a cold southerly, and then high pressure. So there's a lot going on. The southerly coming through here is probably the main feature around Adelaide. So let's take a look at rainfall. This is for just the next 24 hours, but it's from Wednesday morning, from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And for the 24 hours through until Thursday morning, really very little in the way of wet weather for the North Island, very bottom of the scale there. But over on the west coast, these areas in pink showing between 50, 60 millimetres of rain coming through just in 24 hours. The eastern areas like Christchurch, we're not forecasting any rain at all. If you do get something, it's more likely to be just a few spits on the windscreen, that sort of thing. Now over in Australia, this map's a little bit different. This is for the next 3 days from today. And what that's showing is the biggest rainfall totals are just here around about Sydney, past Canberra and down towards Victoria. But then it tapers off as you head towards Melbourne. Rainfall totals further to the west get much lower, but there's some heavy rain inland here, north of about Kalgoorlie. That we'll be seeing about 30 millimetres, which is quite a bit for that area. And to the north, Darwin getting a bit of rain after what has been quite a long dry spell. Similar story through Queensland, beautiful weekend. Now some wet weather is on the way, but only around about 20 millimetres for most parts of Queensland that have rain. So this is the forecast as we go through to Wednesday. The big high out over the Chatham Islands remains in place. That means we've still got the nor'east flow for northern New Zealand, and further down more of a northerly, and that's driving in rain now to the west coast. Low pressure around New South Wales and ACT, slowly trying to move out to sea. By the time we get to Thursday, it does. On Thursday, that system does finally move out into coastal areas, just a few showers brushing that coastal zone. Over in New Zealand, we've got a north to northwesterly flow. It will feel spring-like in many places because it will be mild and just that wind flow coming in from the west. So mild and wet on Thursday on western areas and in the very south and in Otago. You've got a cold front coming through for you. So speaking of that cold front, by the time we go into Friday, colder air now spreading up to about Wellington as you go through the day, and the temperatures do take a bit of a hit. Now the North Island's a bit showery, still got northerlies coming down here, and the low that's trying to leave Australia actually getting a bit bigger, and that's encouraging more showers down that eastern coastline right into Victoria and as far north as about the Queensland, New South Wales border. And then over here in Western Australia, there's that low pressure zone bringing rain to inland areas north of Kalgoorlie. Now as we go into the weekend, Saturday, that western system falls apart. The showers in the east also fall apart. And now this low comes into the North Island. And it could be quite windy. We are looking at a chance of gale force winds for these northern areas between big areas of high pressure to the south and to the east, and then this northerly airflow from Fiji coming down. So it's going to be mild but windy. Mild for this time of the year and windy with a chance for gale force winds just gusting up to around gale force from about Auckland northwards, maybe eastern Waikato, but down around the South Island, you're looking settled. And our final map for Sunday shows that low 994 hectopascals. It's not overly deep, but it's deep enough to keep a wee eye on. The winds are mild with northerlies and showers, maybe 1 or 2 heavy ones, because the sun's likely to be coming out. That's the main rain band, and then it breaks up as the winds start to turn more northwesterly after that nor'easter we've just had. The South Island just gets brushed by it. At this stage, nothing too concerning. And over in Sydney, southerlies and more showers right up to Brisbane, carrying on along just the coastal areas. And that's all from me. Thanks for joining us. We're back again tomorrow, Wednesday, with our next update. We'll see you then.